Yo, what is up guys? Today we're doing a full card prediction for CFFC 91. The first fight of the night on this fight card is for a championship. It is the co-main event of the night between Elise Reed and Jillian DeCourcy. It is for the CFFC Strawweight Championship. Should be a very good fight there. And then in the main event of the evening, we have Pat Sabatini and Stirn going at it for the Cage Fury FC Vacant Featherweight Championship. Should be a very good night of fights. There is only two fights on this fight card, but they are both for championships, so that should be absolutely insane. Now, if you look at the first fight of the night between Elise Reed and Jillian DeCourcy for the Strawweight Championship, Elise Reed, she had an amazing amateur career, as I believe she went 7-1. She started her career as an amateur back in 2013 with a first-round TKO win in just 15 seconds of that very first round. Then she got another first-round knockout, lost her next fight by second-round armbar, but came back after that with two unanimous decision wins over Tara Graf and Stephanie Azari, and a second-round armbar submission win, a second-round rear naked choke submission win, and a second-round knockout in 2019. And then also in 2019, that is where she decided to become a pro in MMA, and in her first fight, she actually ended up joining Bellator, where she got a first-round TKO win with literally 12 seconds left in that fight. She was trying to get a fight earlier this year, back in March of 2020 against Devon Estes, but that fight ended up getting canceled, mainly due to COVID, so I believe in October, some September, August, somewhere around there, she actually joined CFFC and fought undefeated Jasmine Jasadavicius for the CFFC Women's Strawweight Championship, and a lot of people were really counting Elise Reed out of the fight, as she had only had one pro MMA fight at the time, and this was in a main event at CFFC 83, so a lot of people were thinking that Jasmine was just going to go out there and absolutely dominate the fight. But that was definitely not the case. It was a very close 3-round fight that Elise Reed ended up winning by split decision. It was very close. I definitely think that Elise Reed won the first and the third round. The second round was a little bit up for debate, and so was the third round, but I think the third round definitely went to Elise Reed. It was a very close fight. She ended up winning and becoming the CFFC Women's Strawweight Champion. Now she looks to defend her belt against Jillian DeCourcy. It should be a very interesting fight, as Jillian DeCourcy is currently ranked 8th at women's atomweight worldwide. Yes, I said atomweight. She used to fight at 105 pounds. She's currently 4-2, but she is definitely a lot older than her opponent, Elise Reed, as she is currently 36.5 years old, 5 foot 2 inches tall, and has a 63-inch reach. And Elise Reed is 28 years old, so a lot younger there, 5 foot 3 inches tall, a little bit taller there, then has a little bit of a smaller reach than Jillian DeCourcy, as she has a reach of 61.5 inches. And if you look at Jillian DeCourcy's record, 4-2 is obviously a very good record. She actually started her career back in 2017 in Invicta FC with a split decision win over Ashley Medina, a unanimous decision win over Rebecca Levine, then lost her next fight to Alessia Zipatilla by unanimous decision, came back after that one with another loss, also by unanimous decision, to Kelly D'Angelo, came back after that in CFFC with a third-round knockout win over Katie Perez, and then joined Invicta FC back in again, and then got a unanimous decision win over Linda Mihalik, and now looks to come back into CFFC and get that women's strawweight belt. It's going to be a very tough task ahead of her in Elise Reed. But I do think Jillian DeCourcy definitely has a little bit of a grappling advantage in this one. Not that big of an advantage on the ground, as Elise Reed definitely can get a submission on you at any point in the fight. But Elise Reed, she definitely has the bulk of the advantages in this one. She's undefeated. She's 28 years old. She has the age advantage. She has the height advantage. She has the striking advantage. She's much better on the feet. And last but not least, she has the size advantage, as obviously Jillian DeCourcy is moving up from atomweight to women's strawweight to fight Elise Reed for this women's strawweight belt. I think that's going to definitely play a factor, and Elise Reed, if she keeps the fight on the feet, I think she'll have no problem dominating the fight on the feet and winning all 3 rounds in this fight and getting a unanimous decision win over Jillian DeCourcy, racking up her first ever title defense in this women's strawweight division at CFFC 91. It should be a very good fight, but that leads us to the main event of CFFC 91 between Pat Sabatini and Stirn for the vacant featherweight championship. It should be a very good fight. Now, as I said at the beginning of this video, this is a 4-round fight, so there's a lot of fight time in this one. 20 minutes of total fighting in this one. Jesse Stirn, he is 10-3. Pat Sabatini is 12-3. So they both have very, very good records. Pat Sabatini coming off a nice win over Jordan Tatini by knockout about 2.5 months ago. Before that, losing to James Gonzalez because he ended up injuring his arm in the fight. Jesse Stirn is currently on a 2-fight win streak, one by split decision and the other also by split decision. Before that, losing a fight to Scott Heckman by unanimous decision. This should definitely be a good fight. They're both similar ages, 30 years old and 28 years old. And they both have the same height at 5'9" tall for both of them. Now, if you look at Pat Sabatini's record, 12-3 is obviously an amazing record for this featherweight division. He actually started his career back in 2014 with 2 first-round rear naked choke submission wins in a row. Lost his next fight to Robert Watley by unanimous decision. Came back with a first-round rear naked choke submission win in a row. Yes, you heard me right. He has won 3 of his fights already by first-round rear naked choke submission. And guess what that win was against? Tony Gravely, who's actually in the UFC right now, and I believe just got a nice win over Geraldo de Freitas in his last fight, and is a top 50 bantamweight in the world, so that is a nice win to have against Tony Gravely. Then he just kept on winning with a decision win over William Calhoun III, a first-round heel hook submission win, a second-round rear naked choke submission win, a first-round heel hook submission win over John DeJesus, a second-round rear naked choke submission win over Francisco Isata, lost his next fight to Jose Marcico by split decision, came back with a first-round rear naked, a unanimous decision, a second-round rear naked choke submission, and then obviously lost that next fight to James Gonzalez as he ended up getting his arm injured in the first round. Came back after that loss, though, with a first-round knockout win over Jordan Titoni. He was actually supposed to fight Bill Algeo this year inside the UFC, I believe, but I don't know what really happened with that fight. The fight ended up getting canceled, so I'm not really sure what happened there. But now he is set to fight Jesse Stirn on the CFFC 91 fight card. And Jesse Stirn, he's also a very good featherweight in his own right. Started his career back in 2015 with a first-round knockout, first-round guillotine, second-round rear naked choke submission, joined CFFC, lost his first fight in the promotion by second-round rear naked choke submission, came back with a second-round triangle choke, a first-round guillotine, a split decision, and then a unanimous decision. Lost his next fight by first round rear naked choke submission, came back with a first round rear naked choke submission of his own, lost his next fight by unanimous decision, and then came back with 2 split decision wins in his next 2 fights, and he's looking to get this belt inside of CFFC, but I don't think that's going to happen. His opponent, Pat Sabatini, he's an absolute beast on the ground. This dude is going to absolutely dominate the fight on the ground and on the feet as well. He has amazing striking as well. I don't think there's much of a chance for Jesse Stirn to win this one. I'm literally giving the chances that Jesse Stirn wins this fight 5%. I don't think the chances that Jesse wins this one are very high at all. Pat Sabatini is going to dominate this fight wherever the fight goes, and that's why I have Pat Sabatini winning the fight by first or second round submission. Alright guys, if you agree with those predictions or if you disagree with those predictions, make sure to put your predictions in the comment section below. I'd love to see what you guys think is going to happen in these fights. Make sure to like the video if you do like the video and hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss when I post a new video almost every single day. So hit that subscribe button, like the video. I'm out of here.